Hey everybody, welcome to Hit Rewind. I'm Michael. Jacob's on the other side.
Hey, everybody!
We have come to an epic end of 1996, the longest season that we've ever done. And wow, months of this journey. I think we started this, I swear, at the end of May. And it's the end of August now.
Yeah, no, pretty much, yeah. It went, personally for me, I don't know. It went by pretty slowly for me.
Yeah,
Maybe
well,
because,
go ahead.
I said maybe it's because, of work. We're not going to get busy till after, we're not going to get real busy till after Labor Day.
Oh, yeah. Well, and everybody, this is basically a big pause after this episode of the 90s because of work stuff. We're going to do a couple fill-in episodes. We're actually spending all of next year in the past. We're going to be doing 60s, 70s, and all the ones we missed through the 80s and early 90s. And then the year after that, we'll pick up in 97. It's going to be fun exploring some movies. And we're not going to be going as elaborate. I'm going to try to keep it short for each year. Instead of, we did 7, I think, episodes of 1996, I think. It's just, unless it's...
God.
I know, right? Well, one of them I did with my friend Andrew because we did the Disney movies of 1996. But we're basically, I'm going to try my best to keep it to 5 to 6 movies from each year. And there might be a couple, 68, 69, early 70s. There's a couple years where it's loaded to the gills of great movies. But I'm going to burp. There. Professional.
Yes.
All right, so let's finish up 1996. And the first thing I want to start off with is what?
People versus Larry Flynt.
Ooh!
A pretty controversial topic.
Well, and a pretty controversial movie at the time because Larry Falwell was still bitching and moaning about his portrayal in the movie. And I'm like, was any of it false? No.
Was it? Yeah, no. And was it bad? Oh, well, maybe a little bit at some points.
Well, I mean, it's all factual based. There was nothing really. Maybe the performance wasn't what he wanted, but he's a little bitch anyway. Or I don't think he's still alive, but he was a little bitch.
No, he's complete.
Yeah, he complained about everything. But so if you don't know, the Larry Flynt was the guy who created Hustler magazine, and his constant battles in various forms and against numerous adversaries about his First Amendment rights. A battle that needed to be fought for the rest of us. And Larry Flynt, he loved his smut, but he's a folk hero, man. He's a guy who fought for everybody, and so many people tried to stop him, literally shooting him and crippling him. And I think the story is fucking absolutely fascinating. I think it's great performances. It's from the guys Larry Karaszewski and Scott Alexander who wrote Ed Wood before this. And this became their go-to after I believe they did the Dolomite movie, Big Eyes, and a couple others in there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they're known for doing they did the O.J. Simpson miniseries that was on FX. It's so crazy that they're known for this, but their first project was Problem Child.
I know, I was like, what a switch up for sure. And again, just seeing how relevant it is today with all the anti-porn activists, this and that, or people complaining that anything outside of what they like is breaking decency laws. I'm like, well, could you tell that to the Catholic Church?
Yeah, well, it's also they were trying to stop spoof and parody, and that's a part of our First Amendment rights is that we can do that. And I think that Woody Harrelson gives a top-notch performance in this. Like I said, Kingpin is my favorite performance of his. This might be his best performance, which sucks because both movies didn't do well at the box office, and this killed his career.
Damn, really?
No, yeah, seriously, if you look at his filmography after this, it is barely released movies or now supporting work. It's so strange that I believe he got nominated for an Oscar for this. Didn't do shit for his career.
God damn.
Yeah.
No.
Milos Forman directed it. Of course, Cuckoo's Nest, Amadeus, award-winning director, and Edward Norton just killing it in this. I want to support her, but I just don't think Courtney Love's very good.
Yeah. I mean, just that is truth with what she was kind of given with. I mean, she was kind of in more of a crutch to Larry Flynt's character. And Yeah, no, I will say this. I mean, she was a lot better in Man on the Moon.
I don't know. I just don't think she's a very good actress, and I think the reason why she got cast in this is Milos likes to take risks. He just does. He sees something we don't. But also, I just think that maybe she was one of the only people that was willing to to go full on out like this. This is before it was cool. Like Monster made it cool for the big actresses to get naked and show themselves in a light that they had not flattering really. And I just don't think that he probably could find someone a bigger name to do this performance because it is a gutsy role. I'll say this.
It is, and yeah, it is. It is overall awful. Like what does happen.
Yeah,
for sure.
Just and it's loaded to the gills of character actors and fucking Crispin Glover, Vincent Schiavelli. If you don't know him, he's a tall, dark, gaunt guy. Mr. Shit, he was from Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
He was also in Better Off Dead. Yes, he was the teacher. He switched from coffee to tea.
Sanka people, give me some fucking peace. Have a heart. Norm Macdonald has a small part in this, whatever. But I think it's really funny is they got Larry Flynt himself to play the shithead judge.
I know. Of all the people for him to play, especially in that one scene where he's wearing the "fuck this court" shirt. Oh god. Yeah, it's overall it's a really good film.
I'm having a hard time imagining Tom Hanks was offered this first, and then Bill Murray. I can see Bill Murray, but I can't see Tom Hanks.
Oh God, no, not Tom Hanks. No. I mean, I'm sure he can pull it off. I mean, it's Tom Hanks, man. Who are we kidding?
Yeah, but at this time he was putting together That Thing You Do, so it wasn't going to happen anyway. And we got That Thing You Do, which is a great fucking flick.
Oh, absolutely. And so we got that, but this is definitely a recommendation.
I'm looking this up right now. So I'm listening to Mike Medavoy's biography on the audiobook. And if you don't know Mike Medavoy, he's one of the main guys at United Artists during the 70s. He co-created Orion Pictures, and then after he was ousted from TriStar, he created his own company called Phoenix, where he was focused on creator-driven stuff. And I see his name on this, and if you look at his filmography, there weren't a lot of hits. There just weren't. But good God, he made some great movies. Thin Red Line, Apt Pupil, this, You Turn the Mirror Has Two Faces. And then the 90s, it goes downhill. Except Zodiac. Zodiac's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, again, as far as that goes, I mean, it's a damn shame. Thin Red Line was a great movie.
Oh, wow. He didn't make a movie for 6 years. And his most recent film, sadly, another bomb, but it just came out last week, The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Yeah. I mean, again, considering, what it was running up against still, mainly Barbie, people blame Barbie, but at the same time, hey, love it.
Halloween movie, August. It hasn't been successful since the 80s.
Yeah, no. Sadly, no.
All right,
so I will give that movie a chance when I'm available to. Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Yeah, definitely. What is our next film?
Okay, next film, Mulholland Falls.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you were gonna like this, so I'm curious. I think this is. You know what? Hold on. I suggested, so clearly I like it. What did you think?
No, it was overall the way it executed, the way it came along. It was really great. I just felt that the ending was kind of a lackluster. I'm like, wait, what? That was it? I mean, there's so much more stuff, bigger stuff going on. But damn. Oh.
Well.
At the same time, it sucked to see that to Chaz Palminteri.
Yeah, I'm spoilers. So I think what it is, the director was. Yes, it's huge in scope, but he still tried to keep it focused on a personal story. And I feel like this is something that could be told in a much bigger mini-series, I think.
Absolutely, because it almost kind of it almost was a bit of a cliffhanger.
Yeah, and this was, supposed to be a big spring release, and I just think somehow people just weren't interested in it. You got a lot of big names involved in this, and it wasn't very expensive. So what I'm seeing is, I bet you everybody just took the project for cheap because they just wanted to be a part of it. I don't know if I've ever seen a cast this loaded with, hey, that guy kind of people. But this is Nick Nolte. This is Nick Nolte's last studio film. He was sick of it. He said he embarrassed himself by taking so many movies for the money. And so he's going to be doing independent projects from here on out, except for occasionally like, hey, the Hulk, that'll pay me to get me through the next 5 years or whatever. And so you have Nick Nolte, Melanie Griffith, Chaz Palminteri, Michael Madsen, Chris Penn, Treat Williams, Jennifer Connelly, Daniel Baldwin, Andrew McCarthy, John Malkovich. You have fucking Rob Lowe, who has like 2 lines in the movie, and he was still a star at this point. William Peterson, Bruce Dern, Kyle Chandler. I feel like there's like a whole bunch of other people. It's just insane how many people were in this movie, and it didn't make a fucking dime.
It's a damn shame too, because it was all really well acted. I loved like the interaction between Bruce Dern and Nick Nolte.
Yeah.
Like they definitely saw eye to eye. He trusted Nick Nolte to do his, to get the job done and get it done right. You know, getting rid of all the gangsters, anybody who's like, any out of towner troublemakers. Hence the beginning scene. Oh God, I loved it where they just threw that one like Chicago gangster right off the cliff. And,
That's wild to me because they're just like, we're not gonna have any of this bullshit in Los Angeles. Now the Hat Squad is a real thing that existed during this time. I mean, I don't know how much of this is real, but I do know, most of it is like a fictionalized version. So the mod, what is it called? Not Mod Squad, damn it. Gangster Squad is also based off this same group. So if you like this, go check out that movie because it's basically a sequel.
Oh, yeah, no, pretty much, if you think about it. Or,
yeah.
Can't say the same for LA Confidential. They didn't wear hats.
No. Well, and they all kind of fit in the same vein. If you like that, you're going to like LA Confidential. You're going to like The Untouchables. Untouchables is more action-oriented than this. This is a slow burn. But what holds the movie together is that it is a very good mystery of what happened to Jennifer Connelly. And there's so many bits and pieces that slowly come together, this huge conspiracy to hide the effects of the atomic bomb blasts, on the soldiers.
Yes, and this, of course, if anything, could have shown on a scale of what was happening to the outlying towns and whatnot, particularly in New Mexico, when Oppenheimer was first testing it.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, yeah, this is the perfect movie to go check out right now if you liked Oppenheimer.
For sure. Oh. And again, yeah, like I said, it's a great murder mystery. It's a great mystery building up. And I love how, Andrew McCarthy coming out to Nick Nolte and, for help. And their little exchange, though, oh, God, I loved it.
Yeah, it's. I'm looking at this also. There is a TV show that only lasted. It was a miniseries for TNT, created by Frank Darabont, which is also the same group of people. It's called Mob City with Mila Ventimiglia and John Barenthal and I thought that.
Wow.
No, it's Jeffrey DeMoon, Neil McDonough. I could have swore that. There it is, Ed Burns. I was thinking that he was in this. Yeah, so if you're interested, there's a lot to go into if this is kind of like your thing.
Yeah. Again, yes, I did like how it was very character-driven as well.
Yeah.
But, it's just that ending. It's just like,
me personally, I thought it was great because they really boiled it down to the essential of just this simple showdown on the plane between... And God damn it, Treat Williams is so good in this.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Oh, God, you really do want to punch him in the face after finding out, how involved he was.
Yeah. This is during his small comeback, rest in peace. We just lost him a month ago, but... So he had done a TV movie the year before called The Late Shift, which was about the battle between Jay Leno and David Letterman, which he got nominated for. And then he did this, The Phantom, and Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead. And they're all great performances. All 3 tanked.
Which is a damn shame. And honestly, The Phantom was the first time I had seen Treat Williams.
Oh, okay.
And I've enjoyed him since.
I think the first time I had seen him, and he was never a guy that did mainstream movies. He was always kind of on the outer edge of that. But he did a movie I really liked called Dead Heat. With him and Joe Piscopo, where they come back from the dead. They're cops. It's campy.
Right.
Yeah, it's campy. It's goofy. It's fun. I love it.
No, absolutely no. I got a kick out of it too. I'm not gonna lie.
So, what is our next film?
Okay, next film is. Oh gosh, I just lost myself for a second. Yes, Executive Decision.
fucked it. I have not seen this since it came out. I was too young to enjoy it then because I was an adrenaline junkie. As an adult, this movie is astounding. I cannot believe we don't.
I loved it.
Why don't we talk about this movie? Have you seen? Is this the first time?
No, as a kid, I remember, since we had like HBO, every once in a while there'd be like Steven Seagal movies on. Just like the big action star. There's always ads for him and other ones as well. But yeah, this was one movie that was definitely premiering, and I also was like, I love Kurt Russell and John Leguizamo.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming in to watch this movie, I was like, holy shit! Wait a minute, did that just happen? Did Steven Seagal just die?
This is my mother. For the first 25 minutes that he's in it, when is he gonna die? Are they gonna kill him off? Can he die? Why isn't he dead yet? Look, there's a couple Steven Seagal movies I like, but it's not because Steven Seagal, because he fucking sucks. He's a shit person.
Yeah.
He's a shit actor. In this movie, they tell him, oh, so-and-so died in the first 5 minutes, and there is literally no reaction. I almost wonder if the director was like, oh shit, the camera's rolling. You know what, fuck it, just print. No, there's literally, one of his team dies, and he literally has no reaction whatsoever because he's not a human being.
Yeah, I know. He's a very cold person.
And
like even
the repositioning of Kurt Russell, because in the 80s, he was mostly known for kind of like the redneck good old boy kind of stuff. If you look at most of his movies during that time period, he was a blue-collar guy. And even through Backdraft, he's still the blue-collar guy. And this weird repositioning where it was Unlawful Entry, Stargate, and then this. And this is where all of a sudden, like, oh, of course he can pull this off like a brainy executive kind of, wearing a suit kind of guy. He's an everyman. And just the putting people who are competent but not, like a fish out of water kind of thing. He is competent when he's not in the field very much, but he knows what he's doing. But I just kind of like the fact that he's scared. Like, this is the thing that makes him stressed out. That's what works so much about Die Hard, is that John McClane in the first 3 movies, he's scared.
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely, yeah. I mean, I don't know where he's supposed to be on vacation. Well, with Die Hard, yeah, he's on vacation seeing his wife, and then boom, terrorists take over. Like, what the hell? And of course, with this, Kurt Russell, I mean, he had something like Escape from New York, but that wasn't too often.
No, he's just a consultant who ends up.
And an analyst, yeah.
Yeah, he's not even supposed to be on the plane. He does it because he's doing the right thing by saving Joe Morton, which actually ends up saving his life too. The things that happen in this movie to make it more and more difficult. The losing of items, the fact that they don't have another team or whatever to tell the government, and the fact that they're on a deadline because it's going to hit the coast and that they're going to be shot down. But then you got this guy who's crazy, who's just, no matter what, he's going to blow things up. Oh my God, and it's a long movie. It really is, but you really don't feel it because it is packed to the max with story.
Oh, absolutely. And then you've got like Halle Berry in particular, who's even taking risks by doing some of the things she does. By hiding the manifest, that there was an air marshal on board. Like again, in contact secretly with Kurt Russell. When she realizes that they're on board, and also, John Leguizamo too. Like, of course, this is him up and coming, and he's definitely trying something different, and he pulled it off pretty well.
Oh yeah, I mean, he had been building up for some time. This is before we really knew him. Well, I mean, okay, so he does do a small part in Die Hard 2 as one of the terrorists, and then I feel like I didn't see him again until Super Mario Brothers.
And then there was his HBO comedy specials.
Yeah, there's a smattering in there of those. And what was it? Tu Wong Fu, I think, is what really got everybody to notice him.
Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, yeah, that came after this, though.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, never mind.
So, so it's him, and then there's Whip Hubley is in this, and not a lot of people know who Whip Hubley is, but he's one of these guys that almost happened. And I'm thinking that he got the role because Kurt Russell, before Goldie, was married to Season Hubley, who is Whip's sister. He's the guy with the buzz cut who looks like Kurt Russell from Stargate.
Oh, wow.
We have Oliver Platt fucking killing it. Oh my God, is he so good.
Oh, yes, absolutely. It's like, I know, he may be an engineer, but it's like, dude, on the field, stuff like that, dealing with terrorists, that freaked him the fuck out.
Yeah,
And I like...
Go ahead.
Yeah, and I liked how, in particularly the terrorists, it's like, dude, they just wanted to get this person released. They didn't want to actually blow up the plane.
Yeah, except for that one fucking psycho, yeah.
Yeah, the one that was ringleader, and as soon as he was questioned, boom, he shot the guy.
I will say
like,
this.
Fuck.
The stunt casting of Marla Maples sticks out like a sore fucking thumb. She's not good.
Which one was that? Oh, wait. Was she the one who got her head?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, was she the one who she was the stewardess who got killed in the one of the storage rooms?
No, she's great. She's like America's Mom. She's like in the Lethal Weapon movies, Monster Squad, stuff like that.
Yes.
No, Marla Maples is the other stewardess that's always sitting by Halle Berry.
Out.
Yeah, she's it's literally credited as Marla Maples Trump.
Oh God.
Yeah. The director of this is Stuart Baird, who had so much potential. He was an editor for Joel Silver. He had done the Lethal Weapon 2, Die Hard 2, Last Boy Scout, Demolition Man, and Maverick, and then he just got that's a murderer's row. Then he got booted up to director, and I think he did a great job on this. He does U.S. Marshals, which is the sequel to The Fugitive, which I think is pretty good. And then he did Star Trek Nemesis, and that killed his career, even though I think it's a pretty good movie. He's still an editor.
No.
He's still a great editor. He did Casino Royale. He did Tomb Raider, the one that came out a few years ago. He did the Richard Donner cut. He's responsible for putting that together.
Ooh.
But I just thought he was really good as a director, and he just didn't get much of a shot.
Yeah, no, that is a damn shame. And overall, I do like this movie. It was pulse pounding. It was heart thumping, and overall great.
Yeah, I was holding my breath. I was actually like holding it and stressful. But even though I know there's just no way they're all going to die, it's one of those movies. But yet I was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially with Oliver Platt when they had to like put that straw in to stop that thing from reacting.
Oh, and the bomb! Like I said before, they keep putting things in their way of being successful because you keep thinking this movie's going to be over after the first hour and a half, but no. And the bomb has this in it, and this in it, and this in it, and then all of a sudden the guy's upstairs, and this happened. This happened, and this happened, and this happened. Oh, it's so well done.
Yeah, I know. It's like good. Everybody else but Steven Seagal goes home alive, though, thankfully. So I'm like, okay, good. You know, honestly, I wonder if there was a deleted scene where it was Steven Seagal's like grave and they were doing their salute. But like in between takes, they were all posing because I'm pretty sure they didn't want to work with Steven Seagal.
Yeah. Well, you know the story behind John Leguizamo on this film, right?
Do tell.
Leguizamo tells the story every once in a while, and he's like, he got to set, and they were all, ready for rehearsals, and Steven Seagal says, "You don't listen to the director. I'm in charge here. I'm your boss. You listen to me and do whatever I say." And John Leguizamo goes, and Steven Seagal hit him so fucking hard up against the trailer, it knocked the wind out of him, and he thought he was going to throw up, and all he could get out was, "Why?" Yeah, he said he was a real asshole. And then they were getting close to done filming with Steven Seagal, and John Leguizamo walks by him, and Steven goes, "I just read the greatest script I've ever read. It's maybe the best thing ever written." And John goes, "Oh, okay. Well, who read it?" He goes, "I did."
Oh, God.
What a shit.
Fuck that guy.
I didn't realize this was written by Jim and John Thomas, who are the creators of Predator.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Damn, they know how to make they know how to get everybody so tense.
No kidding. All right, what is next?
Next is this I didn't even know existed until you told me it was Brain Candy by Kids in the Hall.
Yeah, it got dumped. It was like just like the Mystery Science Theater 3000 movie. They released in like April, like the last week of April or whatever, on like 600 screens, no promotion whatsoever. Contractually, with Lorne Michaels, they had to release it in a certain amount of theaters. But the guys who viewed the movie hated it so much because they didn't understand it. And one particular joke that they said killed them, and that was the cancer boy bit. They said minute the director saw the head of Paramount saw that, they said, "Fuck this movie."
Oh God, I know. Of all the things, I'm like, damn. They did not hold back.
Yeah, and then it only made like $2 million, and it killed the group. They broke up after that, and they said that in retrospect they felt like they should have done a sketch movie. But I think this is actually a really meaningful movie. They're trying to find the cure for depression, find some way for happiness. And it's just a funny little story about this scientist who creates Gleeman-X, and it makes you feel like it's 72 degrees in your head all day long. The problem, and then the problems that happen with it because they didn't thoroughly test it. And I wonder if this happens in the real medical world where they have to meet their stockholders' demands on profits. And so they push forward drugs that may not be ready. I don't know what it's like in Canada, and I think this is set in Canada. But in America, of course, you have to go through the long-winded FDA, but sometimes I wonder if the FDA takes a little bribes. Who knows? How we still don't have any medicine for AIDS or cancer, but yeah, we got boner medicines left and right.
Oh god, yeah. The way, looking throughout this movie, I was like, oh, it's all central plot. It's not just it's not a sketch movie like History of the World Part 1 or freaking now for something completely different by Monty Python.
Right, or The Meaning of Life, yeah.
That too.
Yeah, so, and they all play multiple characters. It's very much like a Monty Python movie in that way. Like, they did that constantly in all their films where they only had like 5 core members, but then they would have to constantly fill in with other characters. And I just think the thing is so quotable and so quirky, and you know, it's low budget, but it's so of its whatever the Kids in the Hall voice was, that's universal and timely, because they're not about the moment. You know, in any of their sketches, that's why they last a lot better than like SNL or In Living Color and Mad TV.
Oh yeah, no, of course. Me as a kid, you know, growing up, I enjoyed watching Dave Foley and, of course, Kevin McCulloch. I mean, I did grow up on the Kids in the Hall too. Like, it would be on sometimes on Comedy Central.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
All the reruns.
Well, I remember when I first got Comedy Central in '92, and it was like 50% Kids in the Hall reruns because they had no budget back then. It was stand-up bits and Kids in the Hall. And my dog is sniffing my pants for some reason. What's wrong, Zoe?
Yep. And but yeah, just the way that movie does plot out, I can't help but laugh my ass off. Oh man.
I love Happiness Time. You know, the little songs are I'm gay. I love it when he's at the psychiatrist, like, so why do the guys think I'm one of them? And this psychiatrist goes, because you're gay. You're gay. You know you're gay. I know you're gay. Your wife knows you're gay. Your kids know you're gay. Dogs know that you're gay because you're gay. And he goes, oh, okay. I love, and no, damn it, McKinney. Damn it. Mark McKinney. Is this the first of the Lorne Michaels spoofs, like the imitations?
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought he was channeling when he was that CEO exec.
Yeah, it's 100% what he's doing. And then, of course, Mike Myers is the one who got famous for it because of, you know, Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil.
The next year. But and also I think it's really funny is that you got Chris Cooper, the same year the actor Chris Cooper broke out as a star. Dr. Cooper's the drug ready or not?
I know. Kevin McDonald, though, oh god, he was pretty much all over the place.
Yeah, the only thing that kind of hurts the movie is Dave was the star. He's the one who broke out first, and they wanted him to be the main character. But he had already signed for News Radio, and he couldn't. They were pissed at him because he was too involved in the production of that. So he could only show up like on weekends or like 2 weeks during the shooting of the show, like when they were on hiatus. So he does a lot of shots where he's not with everybody. He's just off to the side. And I think that does hurt the movie. I love Kevin McDonald, but Dave Foley is the star.
Oh, no, hands down, yes. I mean, again, I already knew of Dave Foley before I knew of Kids in the Hall.
Yeah, it's
that's how well known he was.
Yeah, and it's a movie that was lost for a long time. I end up showing you. It's on YouTube for free if you want to check it out. But I went and got the Blu-ray release. Thank goodness it's finally out. No extras though, sadly. There's apparently a whole bunch of extra footage and stuff like that in the original cut. But unless Paramount finds it and gives a shit, they're not going to put it out.
Sadly, no.
Well, and it did kill the group for a long time. They would have reunions, but I think it was 6 years ago they had another movie called Death Comes to Town, which is pretty good. And then they had the Amazon series last year, I think it was last year or 2 years ago, where they had a reunion of 6 episodes. I just love Kids in the Hall.
Yes. No, same here. There's one that always gets to me, though, that I remember, one sketch. This guy who picks up roadkill, and like every time he gets paid, he always says something like the big bucks.
Oh.
And he's like having a dream, and like he hears this voice in his head saying, "I'm the big bucks. I'm the reason you dropped out of school."
You would think that they would bring some of their famous characters back too, and that might have hurt them too, because all these characters that you know so well from the show, and the only ones I believe that show up are those 2 dopey cops that they would have like little short segments with, and I just love, hey, you ever heard of this toast fucking? The what? Toast fucking? What's that? It's like where you fuck, but with toast.
Oh, God. That's just so goddamn ridiculous. Honestly, I felt like that's what started Cop Car Convention's special feature on the movie Superbad.
All right, so what is our is this our last one? I think
yeah, this is going to be our last one.
All right.
Well, this one, of course, had to be a switch-up because, originally we were going to do Don't Be a Menace.
Yes.
But neither of us had it.
Yeah, it was free at the time I said it, but it wasn't, so I had to come up with something quick, a list quickly for you to choose from, and you chose, oh my god, I haven't seen this again since it came out, and it's beautiful black comedy.
Absolutely. I know, seriously, it's like, honestly, it's hard to get that much better than that. Fargo, oh god, I completely forgot how funny it was.
Yeah, it's dark. It is a dark comedy, and it's so dry and weird and funny, but it is a serious crime movie too. I mean, people are fucking terrifying in this. I mean, Steve Buscemi and Peter Stormare are fucking strange, yappy dorks, but they're also vicious fuckers, like little goddamn weasel he is, Buscemi.
Oh, absolutely, yes. I mean, especially throughout the movie, oh god, kind of going behind Peter Stormare's back.
Yeah.
Especially when he actually gets the money.
You know what's weird?
Shit.
Hold on a second. What if the Coen... I never heard this, so I'm just making this up. What if the Coen brothers said, hey, what if Ren and Stimpy were kidnappers? Do you ever... Like, they kind of have those personalities.
You're not wrong. Oh, God.
You shot me in the face, you fuck. Gee, Ren, well, I'm going to have to chop you up now.
You're backstabbing me, Ren.
Well,
yeah. He was. I mean, come on. He was getting millions of dollars. He buried the rest of it and just gave Peter Stormare his cut.
Yeah, well, I don't even know if he knew that, though. I think he was just tired of his fucking constant yapping. Just sick of his irritating bullshit. And this movie made careers, and it saved the Coen brothers. The Coen brothers had come off a movie which is actually my favorite movie. The Hudsucker Proxy is my absolute favorite Coen brothers movie. But that thing lost so much money and nearly killed them. And
oh god, that sucks.
Frances McDormand, like, she was a rising star, but this is where she got her Oscar nomination. She became an A-lister. Peter Stormare became a thing. William H. Macy became a guy that every movie all of a sudden had William H. Macy. God damn it, it's so good.
Bill Macy the entire time. Again, he's the one who pretty much kind of sets all this up. He goes to a mechanic. He wants his wife kidnapped to ransom for some money, just in case this one particular deal doesn't go through at auto dealership.
What exactly happens? Why is he in debt? Do they ever explain what his debt is? The why he's doing this in the first place? Did I miss this?
No, I think it was being explained. It was like particular cars within inventory and registration. He had to get them audited, if I'm correct. He was just trying to get this deal through for his his father-in-law, who happens to be president of the company, and he thought he was going to make a commission on that, but because of certain mishaps and this and that, and one of the cars that had to be audited, he just loaned out to the hitman. Yeah,
but I'm saying, like, in the first place, the deal that he was making up to his father-in-law was all bullshit, right? Because he just wanted the money and he was going to abscond with it. It seems like everything he was doing after that was to fix the first mistake, but he says he had to do the whole thing because he was in debt to some bad people, and I don't think you ever find out what that is.
No, not at all.
Yeah. And if you love gee dear Bob kind of accents, you're going to fucking giggle your dick off with this. I mean, I couldn't stop laughing.
And not to mention how casual they are as they're at the murder scene, and Frances McDormand's character is pregnant.
Yeah.
And they're talking that, like, kind of Midwest. Is that, like, that's not a Wisconsin accent, is it?
It's in North Dakota, right? But it definitely sounds like Wisconsin.
Right. Yeah, and just like how they're going on surveying the whole thing, they're just like cool and casual about it. Like, this happened here, and the next thing you know, Frances McDormand's just gonna say, I think I'm gonna throw up now. Just out of nowhere. It's like, no, I'm good. I'm actually hungry again.
So there is a TV show, because this is all a true story, and they decided to adapt this to a TV show, but they were smart by. So there's 4 seasons of it, and they take their time between each seasons because they want to be careful, but they're also trying to base it off true stories that happen in that area. The problem is trying to connect it to Fargo, and that's the problem. That's why it's taking so long for seasons, because there's a lot of crime stories around it, but Fargo isn't exactly like a hub of crime at all time. I mean, it's, whatever. But so they do that. They don't remake the first movie or extend it out through numerous seasons, which some shows do. It's not a prequel, but it's all these stories that center in one way or another, either with characters that were in the first crime or the town of Fargo, something like that. I've only seen the first 2 seasons, but they are fucking balls to the wall, fucking great TV.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it was on FX, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, God, FX has had some fantastic shows. I love Pistol, Legion, and there was another one I'm blanking on. Of course, there's also Reservation Dogs and What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, I don't understand why FXX exists though, because they want to separate the identities, but I don't know if they've noticed or not, but nobody's watching a lot of TV like directly. They're streaming it. So why aren't they pulling back and making FXX back, taking it back to FX? Because what do they even have on FXX? Just Sunny in Philadelphia? Because they haven't had the league in a long time, and I couldn't tell you another show that's on that network.
Letterkenny, maybe?
Is that an FX? I didn't know that. I thought that was a Hulu show. Okay.
Oh, no. Yeah, never mind. But yeah, no, going back to this, though, again, Princess Victoria, the way she just, like, her character just handles everything, trying to interview Will Macy, just, like, kind of nice and casual. Yeah. Like, nothing out of the ordinary, and then Bill H. Macy, like, drives off. She's like, well, damn it. She started figuring out he might have had something to do with what's been going on with, like, his wife's disappearance and everything else that's been going on within the movie.
Yeah, it's so funny to me is when and William H. Macy is an actor who will not like turn down something that could be embarrassing. I mean, the show Shameless alone should show you that he loves being embarrassing. But there's a scene in this towards the end where they capture him at the hotel, and he is just blubbering and crying and panicking. There's no way he's going to escape, but yet he's still attended like a little kid trying to scramble out of his parents' arms. It's embarrassing, but it's so good.
I know. Oh, God. And, again, it was overall, like, a sweet little ending, too, for the other characters that were alive. And, yeah, no, this is a classic for a reason.
Yeah, and like I said, this saved the Coen brothers. I really think their career was dying at this point because, yes, they had Raising Arizona and they made a ton of money, but the next 3 movies didn't, or 3 or 4 movies did not make any money whatsoever. And if it's not for Fargo, we don't get the next run of, like, Big Lebowski, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, and stuff like that. And I think their careers would just be washed up and done. And Fargo was the right step from going to a huge Joel Silver historical epic of Hudsucker Proxy to going to Fargo, where it was minimal, like I think like a $5 million budget, and just focusing on the characters was the best move they could do.
Oh, absolutely. Again, I just still can't get over their accents. It's just the way they casually go about things. There's something where they're trying to describe Steve Buscemi, like, he's about averagely weird as you'd expect.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, he was a little guy. I don't know, kind of weird looking. How was he weird?
Generally weird looking.
How was he weird looking? I don't know. He was just kind of weird. His eyes.
The general sort.
Yeah.
I remember when Steve Buscemi's getting it all with that one girl before he gets his ass kicked.
Her
accent. I'm like, that's what inspired that Boston accent with Ted, I'm sure.
Yeah. All right, so that is it of 1996. Yes, we know we forgot some movies, but good Lord, at some point we had to stop. So Jacob and I are going to be going back in time to 1963 to discuss Mad World, Great Escape, and a couple others. And it's going to be a little sporadic, folks. Just hold on. We'll meet you back up here on our regular kind of normal pace in January.
Yep, we're taking a detour around the old dusty trail.
All right, everybody. Toodles. Jacob, send us out.
All right, namaste and good luck, everybody. Be excellent to each other.
And let's go back in time.